Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Ooh. Birthday package has arrived. Clearly about the size of my arm. But where's it from? Whew. Crazy Crow Trading Post. 1801 Airport Road, Pottsboro, Texas? Never heard of it. Of course, one can't leave out the aerodynamic restructuring that USPS has done to my box. And this nice little gouge. That's good. Glad to see they're doing their jobs. 1, 2, 3. Look, there's the opening knife. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? Of course, I must confess I lied. I know exactly who Crazy Crow's Trading Post is. But they have a wonderful looking collection of Bowie knives and such. Oh, look. They also have a wonderful looking... God, that's a thick catalog, too. I didn't know they had this much stuff. But Punk, don't you have one of those? Oh, yeah, I have that actual one right here. See, that's what we're in packaging. But that's not what you're asking, I hear. You are saying, don't you have a Confederate D-Guard buoy already? I just thought this is funny. Alabama buoy, whoosh, made in India. I didn't know where this was made or who made it because I'd never seen it before. It's definitely not the one by Windlass, but it's somebody in India apparently, and we will take it out and look at it. Look at that grip already. I just took it out and it smells like, yeah, it smells like campfire, kind of like musty old campfire. I'm guessing that's left over from the forge, but that's an authentic smell. Looking pretty good. Leather sheath, scabbard, I don't know what you want to call it, on this length blade. Got that typical Indian stitch looking on the back. Nicely blued guard and such. And more plastic. Are you ready for this? Check out that finish. I like that. It's a nice kind of blued antique finish. The false edge is most definitely not even close to sharp. The true edge is... It definitely has an edge on there, but I wouldn't call that sharp. It's better than a butter knife, but it's like a... If you dulled your pocket knife, you'd get there. And there is the peen on the end. It looks like it was possibly screwed and then peened. Oh, there we go. Yeah. It's kind of, you can see the, well, it's a peen block at least. Oh, we're getting that. There we go. Doesn't want to focus, but yeah, it's got that block and then peen. And the grip is, it is oval, but it's got that flare throughout. Now, if you'll notice, we have two D-guard buoys, and they are, well, let's put them down and take a look here. Take a look at this difference, huh? Well, they are pretty close in length, yeah. I would say blade length, well, we can't get that in the frame. Yeah, okay, so pretty close in blade length. We can see they are nearly identical. This one's a bit longer. The guard on this one is wider but thinner. This one's thinner but wider. This handle, I would say, is more authentic than this grip. This ball in the end is not actually super authentic. There are some Confederate knives that have balls like that, but most of the historical pictures I've seen with D-guards actually have a flat. So this is more accurate looking in terms of blade profile. The false edge is a bit longer and narrower than some I've seen. This looks more like some of the ones I've seen in photographs of the era. I don't know how wide the guards are normally. I like that wideness of this one, gives better protection in a way, but this one's thinner, that's fine. It looks like the pictures. This one is more accurate overall, despite the fact that these blades look pretty similar in thickness. Yeah, this one feels heavier. I mean, this one feels light. This one feels like, you know, just a pocket knife almost in weight. And this one feels like a short sword in weight. This one's definitely going to have the cutting power. Let's do some balancing and weighing. Balance right there. And we also balance right here. Just give you a better look at the scabbard for a second. It's all leather. It's pretty thick and rigid leather, but it is leather, which is fine for period. Stitching on back's done well. There's nothing wrong with it. But I did notice this. I thought this was like a throat at first. It went all the way around. And then when I picked it up again, I realized it's just a flap there. Interesting design. I'm guessing that's just so you can like slip it through your belt in place just on its own, which is not bad. It's just, I've never seen one like that. One from Windlass, which is, has a slight curve to it. It's more obviously shaped to the blade than this one is. This one black. It has the throat and the shape, which I think I've seen some historical ones that have throat and shape, and I've also seen ones that don't. Correction, that is not actually symmetrical. If you look very carefully here, on the side here, it actually does contour to the blade a slight bit. So yeah, it does have a bit of shape to it. So it really only wants to go this way. 1 zeroed out scale with scabbard. Windlass Confederate D-guard buoy is 1 pound, 11.8 ounces. Now, without scabbard, Windlass Confederate D-guard buoy is 1 pound, 5 ounces. Now, Crazy Crow Indian Confederate D-guard will weigh in at 1 pound, 14.7 ounces with scabbard. And without scabbard, it will weigh in at 1 pound, 11.4 ounces. So, that means I was right. This is definitely heavier. But it's not ridiculously so. As you saw, the balance point isn't that far out. I mean, it feels significantly beefier than the Windlass does in my hand. But again, I don't know the historical weights on these things, but it feels good. I like the grip. It's maybe a bit thicker than I'd want because I have kind of small hands, but it's got that shape to it. And this one is more authentic looking overall in design. And so I got it, which is the Alabama Confederate, they say, although I live in Georgia. It's actually only $67. While it is more hefty than the Windlass, it is more authentic looking, and it's less expensive. I like them both, and the reason I wanted to get this one is it wasn't that expensive. 2, I just like Confederate D-guards. I think they're a pretty cool weapon in history. But the Windlass wasn't super authentic. However, I have carried it for years, and I've cut all kinds of things with it, and it's never failed me. So, a little heavier, more authentic. This one I wanted more for my collection as a representative of the form. And this one is my knife that I often carry when I'm traveling, taking road trips, camping, whatever. I sometimes jokingly refer to it as a South Vinland sax, if you get the joke there. But yeah, so let's turn this where you can see them good. Yeah. I like this one for its authenticity better, obviously. This one I've had longer, so I know it better. But they both look spectacular. This one's definitely going to have more cutting power. Armory in a closet. Okay, so my original Windlass D-guard buoy. A fast, rather agile, good demi-sword, as I call blades that are this size. They're too big really to be just knives or daggers, but a little too short to be short swords. I've had it for years, cut all kind of stuff with it. I highly recommend these as camp tools, something to put in your car, even indoor test cutting, because they are, only an 18-inch blade. Very nice, but not as authentic in some aspects as my new one. Now the new one, I also recommend highly. It is a little heftier. I don't want to dissuade people by making them think it is a club or heavy. It feels kind of like some cold steel machete, so it's got a little more heft to the chop, but it's not super hefty. I can still move it all around right there quickly, so not a problem. It's cheaper in cost. I think it feels solid. I don't know what kind of steel it is, they don't say. It's got an antique look and is a little more authentic. Doesn't come with a very good edge. That's going to need to be done. But I recommend this already for anyone who wants a shorter blade to do indoor test cutting, or maybe use a camp tool, something to carry with you in your car if need be. Anything like that. Or if you just like history, because this is a pretty cool thing. They're very similar to many Filipino weapons and also Chinese Bart Damdaos, the butterfly swords. trying to talk fast because I don't want to add too much to this video. So, happy birthday to me. That's gift number 1. Gift number 2 might be here tomorrow, so I may have to rush another video. Hilson, good night. Be good to each other. And all that kind of stuff.